Hi, and welcome to Three Questions with. Got my friend Elaine Saunders with us. Elaine's a matchmaker. Hey, Elaine, welcome to the show.
Hey, Kevin.
So, Elaine, I would imagine that this is really challenging times on the dating scene. What are you seeing out there?
Well, yeah, challenging. Definitely. People are really frustrated in general, in whether they're single or not, but those who are single and who would like to meet somebody, there are challenges that are out there that didn't exist 6 months ago. And yeah, it's an interesting time to be single and dating.
So, Elaine, one of the things that is a challenge in your business as a matchmaker is a lot of times people will say, well, I don't really need to pay a matchmaker. I have friends that can introduce me. Well, we know how that ends.
Yeah.
There's lots of that out there. Why a matchmaker over friends and apps?
Well, friends, it's odd. I've actually matched people, literally have had 2 clients that I've matched, and they've come to find that they've had mutual friends in common and would actually get a little perturbed at their friends for not having made the introduction sooner. Literally several times this has happened. So, I mean, yes, it's New Hampshire, a little bit more of a small town. It's not like New York City, but yeah, I think people tend to want to stay out of others' personal situations. Years ago, when you match somebody up, they stayed married forever. The statistics were that marriages last. Now people get divorced. Nobody wants to be the reason why you made a friend miserable, right? So,
True.
So yeah, a matchmaker, an unbiased person, third party, can see you both objectively and put you both together. And if all else fails, it's not like you lose a friend for life type thing. So
Now, how about an app? Like, why not just use one of these fancy dating apps?
well, how hard would it be for, let's say you, for example, to get on there and post your profile?
Well, my wife would get mad, but
Exactly. However, point taken is this: there's a lot of married guys who are out there doing that because their wives don't know.
Yeah.
There's people out there that have a hidden agenda. They're otherwise involved with somebody in a relationship already, or maybe they're just poking around to play games and see what's out there. They're not maybe emotionally ready for a relationship yet, and you're looking for one. So when you're on those apps, you do a lot of wheel spinning and communicating with people who really aren't in the right place or in the same place that you are. So unless you really relish wasting your time, not always a time waste, but do the math.
Well, so Elaine, then describe to me who is a good / typical client for you. Why should someone reach out to you?
Somebody who's most of the people I work with have maybe gone through trying to beg their friends to introduce them to somebody nice, or have kind of gone through the frustrations of the online dating applications and things of that nature. And they just, now with Corona, there's no social venues. I mean, I would personally run events for my clients and singles where they can get out and meet people face to face, but that's game over. So now it's even more challenging to meet somebody. So the typical person I work with, best person, is somebody who sincerely would like to meet somebody, to get to know them for a relationship, companionship, romance, obviously, long term. I don't really work with anybody who's looking for a hit and run relationship. There's no guarantee that it's going to be a long-term relationship when I introduce you, but the intention is there, that somebody has it on their heart to want to be with somebody for more than a flash in the pan, as I like to call it. So anybody can hook up for a night or hook up for a day or a week, but somebody who's in it for the long haul, looking to make a life partner with somebody.
Just walk me through the process. So somebody fits that profile. They reach out to you. What can they expect? How do you do the actual matching?
So I meet with everybody in person, but I'm now kind of relying like everybody else. I'm working from home, and I'm meeting people over Zoom and the computer, or social distancing. I mean, I do meet people in person at a distance with masks on or without if they are far enough away. I have slowed down a great deal because it's been harder to go into the office, and I just kind of took a little bit of a sabbatical like everybody else and hunkered down and totally quarantined for a while. But getting along with life and the reality of nobody wants to completely stop living our lives or stop doing business. I talk to people in depth about what their hopes and dreams are, get a feeling for who they are as a person, their values, their likes and dislikes, family, lifestyle, how they like to communicate, their just, it could be anything like religious aspects, spirituality, political beliefs. I mean, right now, you can only imagine how important it is not to introduce two people who are opposite sides of the spectrum on their political views. And that was never a thing. That was only a thing during a presidential election year, but that's every year now for the last few years. So with that being said, it's that and my little bit of intuition and experience that I can say to myself, I could see these two people together. I could see them clicking. I could see them getting along. I could see them conversing intelligently in a way that they would appreciate each other's point of view and maybe like to get to know each other better, And so I make a suggestion. I refer them to one another. It's a referral, just like you have a business referral. If I feel that it's a good connection, I make the connection by exchanging information of phone number, a little bit of information like where they live. I don't give away last names or where they work specifically, but professionally, a little bit about what they do, a little bit of information, not a lot. And then I leave it to them to contact each other. Yep. I don't tell them to meet on Zoom, but I kind of say, hey, you're not going to want to go out and start kissing each other on the first date, without knowing where each other's have been. I mean, this is a little bit of it's changed a lot. This COVID thing has really changed dating a lot in that regard. And, but they're adults. I mean, I only introduce adults to each other. So they do their thing and they let me know how it went. Did they hit it off or would they like to meet somebody else? It's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's really that simple. Elaine, how can people reach out to you? How can they learn more?
Well, I'm pretty accessible on Facebook. I have a presence on Facebook. I have a page for dynamic introductions. By phone, text, or cell, 603-262-1560. I have a couple of Facebook groups for singles. I have a meetup for singles. And really, the best way to contact me is by phone or an instant message. Send me a message through Facebook.
Awesome. Elaine, I really appreciate taking a few minutes to jump on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
I lost